Hello out there. Let's see. Do an audio check, then we'll begin. Uh, well, okay, I can hear myself. All right, no mute errors this time. So Disco Day was yesterday, which was Pi Day, which we already ate from today. So, or all mine are gone. Yeah, as you can see, I finally put up my other Billy bookcase. Had to paint it because, well, I wasn't able to buy the dark shelf as appropriate, but I'll have a video out on that sooner or later. Hello, Future Boy. How are you today? Have you seen Future Boy Conan? Cause I have not had a chance to yet or lately. All right, so let's begin. Share. Awesome. So we had the mega panel. Well, here's the introduction screen for the Spring 2022 mega panel for a later license that was given. So here's the majority of their announcements. Not everything is covered, but this is the majority of it. They're missing like 3, 4 for updates. So let's go through. Discotheque. This is what they're about. They're about boutique home video. They are a boutique home video company specializing in Japanese animation, from the new to the old to the cutting edge of new releases. They focus on Blu-ray, UHD, and SD to Blu-ray. They snub DVD, even though they're having some manufacturing issues getting the cases for their older releases. Whoop, what's going on? What was my favorite announcement? Let's get to that. Yeah, you can read that on their Twitter. There's the hosts, Justin, Brady, David, and Mike. Go back a bit. Out of all of these, my favorite. Ooh. Well, I would have to say it's either a tie between these three, and that is Lupin the Third, Prison of the Past, Case Closed, Fist of Blue Sapphire, or Kakaishi, because Viz really did a really limited number print of that show, and it's hard to get. They're able to release it all into one set, which we'll get to that soon. First, that they announced is that they got the 1980s Astro Boy with the Wisconsin College dub, but could not include the Canadian dub for some reason. But this is finally, we get both tracks of English and Japanese this time. Let's see. Both openings and endings are in Japanese. And they're able to have both the combined episode 1 and 2 and expand the episode 1 and 2 in the Japanese language for this release. Very fun show. Really, like a third of the people sound like Cell from Dragon Ball Z. I had fun, and it's another entry where you get to hear, I forgot his name, but the doctor from Blackjack in this one. Up next, we have a new license of Synthogear GX, which is season 3. It includes the Omaki episodes, clean opening and ending, music video teaser, trailer promo clips, and premiere event footage. So those are some awesome extras for this fantastic series. Over the top, better than freezing, but it is just over top goodness that'll just make you root for Chris to punch the enemy. Up next is Cyber City 080808. This one has the 2K skin, which was released in Japan after Discotek finally released this on Blu-ray. So this is their chance to release an upgraded copy in a steelbook. And the director is watching their step, every move that they make while producing this Blu-ray, which is awesome and kind of a really highlight for them. Has your two English dubs, both of US and UK, as well as the UK soundtrack in it. So if you don't like it, you can take your thumb and stick it. Up next is more from their cartoon lineup, which is pretty awesome. And most of these I've kind of noticed aired on the USA Express Saturday morning, early morning, or weekday evening lineups. So we got double. Oh, hi, Ronnie Mahoney. Mahoney? Huh? I wonder if you're related to that chef on Triple G that they nicknamed Shenanigans. If it is, cool. If not, well. But hello to the stream. I welcome you. So this one's based on the video game Double Dragon, but not just the first one. It's based on the fifth one that's a fighting game. I love the two different covers that they have for the what they call O-ring, but really the cover for the series. 26 episodes. They also include bonus tips from Double Dragon 5 for SNES, Genesis, and Jaguar. The Atari Jaguar, if you will. All because the person putting it together had the original VHS stuff and noticed this as an extra, so they just went ahead and threw in the kitchen sink on this one. Available in May. You can pre-order it now. There's the other artwork with their super transformation, if you will. I want this to hold up and be corny, but I don't know if this is going to be a good show or not. If I remember right, I like the cartoon way better than the live-action movie, but live-action movie is another taste for another time. Finally, Mongolian Night update. Let's see. So this has all 46 episodes from a lot of USB drives that they got when they finally got everything approved and sent over. It has some vintage promo clips, and you can pre-order it in May right now. Or pre-order it for May when it comes for right now. So I'm glad to finally have this, and I'm finally glad to get this in my collection, because you have like the Japanese release, then you have a separate for the English dub, which I'm fine with, but it's just lingering that there's this other option that I could be watching. But now it's finally out with all episodes that were missing. Gunbusters. They are working on Gunbusters. They're saving the main character to voice last, and they can't say too much. They're in the work. They're doing what they can. They're streamlining the best they can to get through this process. Hopefully we know it's going to be the best of quality. So they can't say anything. It's not yet done, so just got to wait. They're speculating maybe 3 to 6 months, maybe, for this to be released, but I'm not going to bother them on when Gunbuster is going to be ready. They are going to dub the scientific clip. I wouldn't say clips, but the shorts that's in it. So that's a big plus for me. Moving on to Kikaishi. This aired on Adult Swim back when they just juggled when they're going to have an anime on Saturday night all willy-nilly. This is a very cubed, what do you call it, supernatural show where pretty much these two are sort of monks, but they go out and fight the spirits. It was very fun when I saw it. Whoop. I have the Japanese bootleg of Gunbuster, which, I'm not going to lie, I don't blame you. They way overcharged the price for it. For over here, it's like I got mine sealed for like 75 about a year or two ago, but everywhere else wants to sell an open copy for like 150, 300, 500. So I do not blame you for that. But hopefully when Discotheque, being they, release this over here, it'll be a much affordable, I don't know, maybe $20, $40, maybe 60. I'm willing to put my money that this will be like between a $20 to $30 pre-order, but we'll see when we get there or when the time comes. We're not working on it, so we don't know when it gets there. So for this one, instead of 4 DVDs, we have all 52 episodes in high definition on one Blu-ray. For those who are kind of iffy on watching it, they being Discotheque highlighted that this is from the same the same director and producer as City Hunter and Detective Conan. We get opening, ending, English language trailer, plus bonus interview with people who worked on the show. Up next, Fuse, Memoirs of the Hunter Girl. I'm glad to see this because I don't have to get. I know that the NIS America had the standard copies, so you don't have to get the long box. But this still helps me avoid getting near that debate of if you're going to collect from the company, do you get like the big box or do you settle for the standard? But with them releasing it, I don't have to worry about it. Plus, there'll be more copies of print. Moving on, I have not seen it yet, but I'm kind of curious about this one. It looks pretty good. Devilman. They showed it. It's still from the time period. You can like tell a little difference from the Blu-ray from the DVD that they released and the Blu-ray. You can tell a little bit, but they went through, revise and clean up the subtitles, and there's not going to be much for extra features. Violence Jack and Project Daco. That was my. I did a top 3 earlier. That would be my second tier of my top. Let's see. Are we near Violence Jack? Because I would love to talk more about that one. Yeah, Violence Jack. This one, they went to the lab where they stored it and were able to get the film reel. So we finally get a pure, uncut Violence Jack. No mosaics, no unusable footage, if you will. We get a pure, clean transfer. 180p high definition. Episode 2 and 3 were in 2 different, sizes. You have your 16 by 9 and 4 by 3 versions. So we get 2 different versions for those episodes. More times to watch it. Let's see. So as extras, it has VHS dub credits, Japanese censored clips, and the animation retake reel. So that would be fun to watch. But yeah, finally, full, unadulterated, uncut Violence Jack, all written and made for the Japanese audience, and a manga book that was made for 6-year-olds. So there you go. Nah, I'm just kidding about that. Probably like your tip. I'm not sure. I would think that Gona Guy loved to push the censorship bar a lot. So I'm not sure if it was like your typical sold to middle schoolers over there or high school. I'm not sure where this would fit, but this is like a this is a spinoff of Devilman, and some speculate that Violence Jack, the character himself, is the main character from Devilman, but reincarnated. But it's never. I don't want to say officially that's what happened, but from what I understand, it's not really confirmed. Ooh, there we go. But anyway, awesome. Can't wait to pre-order it. Can't wait to watch it. And it's pure glory. Darkstalkers, pretty much. They got the masters. It looks, it's cleaned up. They got way more artwork to show this time around for the special features. And they have that's pretty much it. It's just the 4 OVA episodes in a better quality with more pictures. And they get more, if you can tell from the next slide, you have the 2 different alternate covers that they're going to have. This includes the Italian and French promos, vintage video game promos for the original DVD release. So pretty much what they had from the DVD, they're bringing anything from the DVD, they're bringing over. Because I remember the video game clips from the DVD, your endless credits, and an epilogue, alternate subtitle selection for US named and Japanese names. So that's pretty neat. Isolated music and sound effects track. And like I said before, more art. Moving on to Neon Lights. This is going to be Discotheque's live action side. So you have 2 different divisions. You have Discotheque and Eastern Star. Originally, they were releasing boutique Asian cinema, so live action stuff. Then moved over to anime. So these 2 not titles, but these 2 divisions just became anime. And now we have this Nippon Nights, which kind of sounds like Harlem Nights, but anyway, this is going to be their live action side of this company. So they have 3 different titles. Heard rumor that they were going to try to make it into 1 for different tax reasons, but now we have 3. And the first one that they're going to release is Uzumaki. That's right, from the mind of Juji Ito. First time on Blu-ray everywhere, newly revised subtitle translation, which the person who's doing the subtitles mentioned that when this first came out, it had like bare minimum subtitles just to know what's happening. But this time around, they translated the subtitles to be more cohesive with what's on the screen than just bare minimum. More special features will be updated later this year. Hopefully, it will come out this year. So, an oldie coming back. Project Eiko update. So, for the second one, the plot of the Daitokuji Financial Group. They were able to find the better copies from the lab, restored it into 180p high definition, and this time around, itself had its own bonus features, so they're not going to work and overkill themselves this time with this one because it already had enough features to begin with. Includes music videos, special laser disc swap animation, music selection, if I can talk, music selection track, everything else that this movie has to offer, they're going to put it in here. Exclusive art, gallery, key art, model sheets, and packaging, linear notes, and another Mischief gallery, which was fun for the first release. Where is that anyway? Yeah. And this is what they have for the cover art for the meantime, but they're still going to commission the person who did the first one, the first Project Eiko re-release that they did last year, for this one as well. Even though I kind of say the one that they have right here as a default is not a bad one. So later this year, hopefully, this releases. Now we have the Lupin the Third update. The Mystery of Mamo is being released this month. Let's see. Magical Film, New Linear Loats by Reed Nelson, at symbol Doc Insano. Scratch that, I messed that up. 4 separate English dubs. Now, they were mentioning the classic cover because this one was for the newly released 4K transfer that they did. However, don't worry. They sort of got the traditional one, but I really like the yellow one that they had for the DVD. But anyway, new to the blue of the ray. Ooh, there's an I for I see you. Up next is for April, we have Episode 0 First Contact. This was one of the polls. They had a poll way a few years ago about what Lupin series to dub, and the one that won was Red versus Green, followed by Mermaid, followed by Episode 0, and some other one. So we finally get this coming next month soon. And it has a traditional cast. Reed Nelson doing a commentary track. And we get the Japanese commercials this time. And next we have Lupin the Third, Series 1. Finally being dubbed for an anniversary. And this one, 180p source from the Japanese, new color correction, and dust scratch removal. 200 pages of linear notes by Reed Nelson and friends. I hope friends are involved for that extensive linear notes. Exclusive production art gallery, brand new dub featuring original cast. If there's one episode I would sample for this part, it's when they had the Lupin Festival. To me, that is the most chaotic and more true to the Lupin that we have now of an episode. While watching part 1 for myself, it kind of felt like they were trying to figure out how to translate the manga into the TV series with a lot of help of people trying to produce it. Before they made, all right, I should know this. I feel embarrassed not knowing this. I know the name. Castle Cagliostro. When they finally made Castle Cagliostro, it kind of feels like they know what they're going to do with the character and went on from there for part 2. I might have my timeline a little messed up, but with that, let's look what the other cover art is going to look like, as well as the discs. So this is the insert art. This is going to be the cover art. As over here, this would probably be the O-ring. And we have the discs, 1, 2, and 3. I just admire this. Up next for Lupin is The Prison of the Past, which is the most recent Lupin movie to be released. It's coming out sometime this year. And the special features they commented is probably just very bare minimum. Opening, ending, clean for the option. So I'm excited to see a brand new one, a brand new Lupin movie to be released very soon, by the way. Usually it'd be like 2 to 4 years before they release something this new. So this is awesome. This is amazing. Well, what do we got? Is Disco Day is going to be the 4th and 5th seasons of Symphogear on Blu-ray after season 3, maybe? I hope so. I'm kind of surprised they haven't released the whole series in 5 months, if you want my opinion. But they probably have to go through a bunch of Japanese rubber stamping with the licensors. So I'm not for sure what the holdup is, but another way to look at it for me is if you're going to bake a cake or turkey, you want to make sure you give the appropriate time for it to be a good meal. So I don't mind the wait, but I'm kind of with you. It feels like it should be like 2 quarters, then a Symphogear release, 2 quarters, then a Symphogear release. So granted, they're also working on a whole bunch of stuff at the same time. So I feel understand your concern, but I'm not sure rushing it would be the appropriate answer too. But I am with you on this. I wish we got all 5 seasons done and over with so we can. I just want to sit through and just watch it all in one sitting without doing the whole streaming stuff. Hold on. Bobby Joe says hello. Hello, Bobby Joe. What are your thoughts on Cat's Eye Season 1 releasing soon? And do you think Discotheque will be releasing Lupin Season 2 on Blu-ray? I'm glad Cat's Eye Season 1 is being released. I have not watched it to check the quality of it, but from what I see from the previews, I don't think there's any worry about it. I'm glad it's being released because originally for Cat's Eye, it was released on DVD by this Asian TV station based in New York that did print on demand discs, and they did sell, I want to say Imagine Asian was the company. They had 3 series that they sold, which would be Orgus, Cat's Eye, and Nobody's Boy Remy, which that one's the super rare one. So Cat's Eye was originally released from them, not all the way, not complete. Then we have Nozumi/Right Stuff releasing it on DVD with the very sweet chipboard art box. And now Discotheque has it, so more people are able to get to it and watch more of the show. So I'm glad it's released. I'm a little surprised they're doing the Season 1, Season 2, but that, once again, that might be just Japanese rubber stamping what they can do with the series and how to release it. Lupin Season 2. They keep saying that, well, they have said, the Discotheque team, that they have no control if it gets on Blu-ray or not just yet. They're waiting for TMS to rubber stamp for the go. If it gets dubbed, it has to be TMS that does it because it's a very long series. I understand the problem with the DVDs at the moment because it's harder to get the covers. So I'm not sure how soon they would be able to get Lupin Part 2 onto Blu-ray. It would be nice sooner, but not sure when. But I can see them releasing it because if we're getting like the newest movie before a year even happens, then it's making plenty of the Vidi Gucci, if you will. What do we got? Bobby Joe. Wish we could get the original Dragon Ball on Blu-ray. I wish to get the original Dragon Ball with a good transfer. I watched all of just recently with a friend, I watched all of the original Dragon Ball, and it's not cut up like the Dragon, like the orange boxes, if you will. Not talking about the old DVD ones, not the new ones. So it has the full screen, if you will, but there's so many times where it's like not clean. You see all the hairs and stuff. So honestly, I would like Dragon Ball to get a better transfer before it hits the Blu-ray for my 2 cents. Let's see here. What else you say? Bobby Joe also says, I believe Season 3 was what aired on Cartoon Network back in the day. Season 3. If you're talking about Lupin, it's Part 2. Because Part 3 is the zany one with the pink jacket. Part 2 is the red jacket. So going through the parts, Part 1 green, Part 2 red, Part 3 pink. A very zany one, if you will. Kind of went through a different phase. Went zany to serious. Part 4 is the start of the more recent ones. I believe Part 4 was the blue jacket. Part 5 is the black jacket. Please correct me in the comments. All right, let's get back to the releases. So we got Prison of the Past, followed by another Detective Conan or Case Closed or whatever you want to call the little shrimp. And this time it's the Fist of the Blue Sapphire, which had a limited release over here, or at least a Anime Expo or AX 2018 if you had a ticket to go to it, which was at the, so you have the convention center, and kind of catty corner from the convention center you have the Marriott, and right over here in the corner is the theater, which apparently you're supposed to know that's where you go to buy tickets for it. Real quick, Bobby Joe for Lupin on Cartoon Network when it first aired over here in the 2000s, 2002, 2003. It was part 2. Don't worry. This isn't a test. You don't have to worry about a grade or anything. We're human. If we weren't human, we wouldn't make mistakes and insurance wouldn't exist. All right, back to Lupin. Back to Case Closed, Detective Conan. So this is the 23rd movie. Exciting new mystery in Singapore involving karate and martial arts. Let's see. This is the biggest box office. Detective Conan, one of Japan's top 50 box office hits ever. Has Japanese with subtitles, English subtitles, and dubbed in English. Trailers coming later, 2022. Can't wait to watch it. And I think for the quote-unquote more modern Case Closed, they're about lacking either 1 or 2. I'm saying the 2 part because they're about to release another Detective Conan movie either next month or the month after. What do we got over here? Ronnie Mahoney. Or is it Mahoney? Discotheque, and sorry about the spelling of Symphogear. I'm not no grammar teacher. Question earlier, sorry about that. No need to feel sorry. We're human. It's fine to communicate. If we're that stickler for information, if we're going to be information snobs, then we would just be encyclopedia books. So don't worry. Everything's good. Everything's fine. We're here for fun. Up next, part of the J9 trilogy is Galactic Whirlwind Saucer. The third and final of the J9 saga continues for SD Blu-ray. 43 episodes in standard definition. In Japanese with subtitles, promotional clips. Just like the previous J9 shows, this one's looking a bit rough, but it's the best master available. So until they can find something else, this is as good as it gets, baby. What do we got? Boom. Baba Joe, Case Closed bugs me. Only because they never released all the series, but my mind understands that that's a tall order. But the collector in me is annoyed. Totally agree. What no one's mentioning is used to, or at least a year ago, if I recall, I don't have Netflix, but on Netflix they had Case Closed. And you can watch the most recent season or maybe a few seasons back, and it's all subtitled. So somewhere, I'm not sure the streaming site or where to go to, but I think TMS has something out there so you can watch all the Detective Conan movies or TV series. But I totally agree. So far, I'm current on the Detective Conan movies and TV series. I haven't watched all of the TV series that I have, but I have watched all the movies. They've been fun so far, and really a lot of explosions, but I do feel your pain. Hopefully after they release all the modern movies and people keep buying it, which why not? It's like about 18 to 23-ish dollars per movie. So it's not unreasonable to go out, order, and get. But I too hope that they can, let me catch my breath. They can release all the movies after they release the current block, and for some awkward reason, the Lupin versus Conan OVA hasn't been released in English dub on Blu-ray yet. So hopefully after they get all over this hump, we'll see more of the older stuff too. Let's see. Saw that. Read that. Another one for Bobby Joe. Crunchyroll has case closed. Cool. It's like the first 125 or so. Okay. And then it picks up at episode 900-ish. Yeah, that is awkward for those newly coming in or OCD to watch, which technically I can see the problem here. That would be a concern. Let's see what the other one is. We need Doraemon full series. Yes. I'm wondering what happened to the Disney re-release or the Disney dubbed version of the Doraemon 2000 spinoff or reboot. Okay, going back to case closed. I see the problem. I understand the issue. And I'm probably going to get some backlash from you, but technically for case closed, after you watch enough episodes, they do change some, but it almost becomes sort of like as any other mystery series, kind of Scooby-Doo-ish, if you will, or Columbo, or I probably shouldn't reference this, but Murder, She Wrote. I haven't watched that. Don't stab too hard. After a while, you get the formula, and you get what's going on. As they introduce a character or a newer character, they should cover the character after a few episodes, even though not at that moment, to kind of help you know who this person is and continue watching. It's awkward because you rather just catch it as soon as it's newly introduced in chronological order. But I don't see it being harmful to skip that many episodes to there, even though they're going to reference a lot of episodes in between that bulk. So I see the double-edged sword, if you grab it, if you will. So don't hurt me too much on the comments, but that's how I see it. All right, last of the J9. I like for all three of these J9 series, they imitated what they did for Aura Battler Dunbine, that ADV Films and Sentai Filmworks has released. I also have a complete collection on that video. But it's nice to see that this kind of artwork release is still happening. But next we have Howard Armour Dorvac. Let's read what the site says. An excellent undiscovered classic of mecha anime comes to SD standard definition Blu-ray, all 36 episodes in standard definition, Japanese with subtitles, bonus fixtures, bonus promo clips, 2 short films, a music video, awesome. Coming later this year. Why in the world did they pick this out? One, it's a classic, and there's some older Mecha Otaku who's requested this. I have seen people comment, like in the early years of Discotheque, of this show every now and then. 2, there's a lot of meme pictures. Like, I'm probably going to botch this, but you've probably seen the anime sort of daddish character wearing a green turtleneck sweater with like Wildcat on the side or whatnot. So there's a lot of memed pics that are out there. A lot of people don't know what the context of those memed pics is to the show. So there you go. Other than that, just I like it when Discotheque grabs something random, throws it out there just to have exposure, because that's kind of like finding the gem in the rough, if you will. I'm excited for this release. I know a lot of people like questioning, like, why is this here? But that's just the fun of finding something new, a new treasure. Is it going to be good? Is it going to be bad? Make you happy, sad? Oh, baby, we can find out. All right, so they mentioned some other stuff. They have some delays on Tales of Fantasia, Yawamushi Pedal, New Generation, and a few others. Whoop, what do we got? Bobby Joe says, I'd like to see Doraemon. I think its actual appeal would only be with us collectors and Japanese people. Hold on. The history of Claire's has always sold Doraemon as accessories and toys without a story, kind of like Hello Kitty. So you might have some other people who would find Doraemon on that way just to find out what story it is. It would be Japanese, yeah, pretty much the later part's true, because over there, as popular as like Bugs Bunny or Mickey Mouse is over here, Doraemon or Snoopy over here, Doraemon is like the quick character that they'll draw, laugh, and have fun with. So it is a very, very popular series over there. So I can see new people getting into it, and I can also see just the U.S. collectors and Japanese people getting it. So, valid point. Might not be worth it, but I understand. Hey, you never find oil unless you dig. Ooh, what do we got? I remember there being a Hello Kitty cartoon back in the day. I'll watch it first, but once I get through watching it, I might do a Hello Kitty complete collection. Anyway, thank you, Bobby Joe, for the comments. Please comment some more. I like interacting with people like this. I normally don't with my videos. So going back to the party. All right, so they mentioned that some titles are delayed. They're just waiting for the rubber stamp to continue. So don't be impatient with them. They're doing what they can with the whole, I got to wait for the email from the other person to reply back. The other person's doing their work, then finally get to it in their queue, and they reply back. Queue, wait, reply. The cycle of the office business world. Future Boy said something. Grandizer was absent again this time around of announcements from Discotheque. What's the holdup? Eisenberg, Captain Future, Arabian Nights Adventure of Sinbad, just to name a few. For the Go Nagai release stuff, I sort of agree with you on that one, but I'm also can think of two others for like I'm going to butcher the names. Happy Bazooka from ADV Films, that was only VHS only, as well as Delinquent in Drag. Because I've been thinking those two would be easier to get because they were released over here. They can grab what ADV had or talk to the former Sentai Filmworks or whatever just to find out where the license is to get it and release it over here. Grandizer, I'm not sure if the Force 5 dubbed that directly or if it had its own dub for way back when. But I'm not sure if there's other people involved with it that's hindering Grandizer to be worked on, or they're working on Grandizer and have a lot more stuff to work with. I'm not sure. I wish I knew more. Captain Future. Yeah, someone mentioned that before. No? Right. Well, I guess I put that up somewhere. Have a Captain Future VHS. Raymond Knights Adventure of Sinbad. There's a lot to work out there, so be patient with them because they're working on a queue. I can't say why they didn't announce it. I can't confirm if they have the license, but just wait and see. Eventually it'll get released. Because I know what you listed, a lot of people have listed and said on the different social medias and on their early Facebook. So I get that there's a demand. But I can't speak for them because I don't work for them, if you get my drift. So I'm not sure what they're working on, what their queue, and if Celty is buying these licenses. I don't know. I wish I knew what licenses were out on the market, but now we have Sergeant Frog Season 2, another 52 episodes of wacky frog action and model making. In standard definition, which isn't bad for this show. They continue the dub as long as it goes, which the number's been debated if it's 79 or 78. But just like with Lupin, they dubbed everything within the episode, even the preview. Greatly improved subtitles from the original release, clean openings, endings, TV commercials, and character warning clips, which I think what they described as like, don't sit too close to the TV. They also had, in the comments of the stream, they had the director who worked on the dub for Sergeant Frog mentioned that he's glad that people come up to him, even sign their disc of Sergeant Frog for what work they did on it. And their response was, well, we're producing more of it so they can sign more. Bobby Joe says, would you be interested if they released Yu-Gi-Oh on the Blu-ray? Yeah, I mean, I've already bought I guess you can say I am a victim of their brand. I will buy whatever that brand is going to release through pre-order. So yeah, I'd be interested in it. Hopefully they get season 0 and on, because I know Cinedyne, just like with later I'm going to be talking about Digimon. Yeah, so far Digimon. Yeah, they got that from Cinedyne, so they'll clean it up and give it a good thing. So I'm hoping they'll do the same with Yu-Gi-Oh as well. What do we got down here? We got Deflexon. Is Sergeant Frog a good watch? I haven't seen it yet. From a lot of Facebook group people that I talk to, that's one of their favorites. So I assume so, but personally, I can't say too much because I haven't seen it. I haven't. I have what they've released so far. Future Boy, most hated announcement they did this time around was Digimon. I cringed. Okay. Can't win them all. Every popcorn kernel isn't cooked all the way or is burnt, so But yes, I think for Sergeant Frog, this is, if I remember, it's in the 200-ish episodes, but I'm not sure if it's 250 or early 200s. So this is part 2 of a potential 4 or 5 series. So, hey, awesome. I know there's a lot of fans of this show, and hopefully they'll be grateful and buy it. I'm going to buy it. But like I said before, I usually buy everything that they release. Up next, we have Homes of Kyoto. Really rocking opening, by the way. A 2018 romantic mystery series comes to Blu-ray, all 12 episodes in 180p high definition in Japanese with English subtitles. Clean opening and ending included. Released sometime later this year. I remember watching a few episodes of it, and I watched this with an anime club that I'm involved in. And to me, this show is something that you don't watch weekly to get a better enjoyment. This is one that you would watch as a binge to get a better enjoyment of the series, or that's my 2 cents of it. Oh, what do we got? Boom. I never got into Digimon. I was part of the initial Pokemon wave, and then when Digimon came out, I was transitioning out of cartoons. That's fine. Fine. You like what you like, you get into what you like. If you want to explore more later, explore more later. There's plenty more. There's a lot of time in life. You don't have to follow the flow of everything at one time. It's honestly, I kind of think it's better to wait till something finishes all the way than binge everything. But when Digimon came, let's hurry up and get to the Digimon. There we go, Digimon. So one of the people that work with the Discotheque crew on or OCD Media to restore stuff, he is the head honcho of the Digimon forums. So he's mentioned on there that he has several different releases of it, Japanese, German, etc. So they're using the Astro Reg to make it the 180p high definition. Two separate releases. You got the Fox Kids dubbed or the Saban dub, then the Japanese dub later to follow. And the discs that they're going to release are the eyes of the Digimon with their tamer, and for some reason they had Izzy on there instead of Joe. But they're going to have a second release with the Japanese only. All right. I can comment more about this comment. Digimon seems to be a copycat of Pokemon, didn't it? Sorta, kinda. The monsters that they travel with along the way technically have their own backstory and some other storyline. So, kind of like, I hate to say this because I don't like the crowd. So, kind of like Magic the Gathering. Just because you have the card, or Yu Gi Oh! Just because you have the card and it works with the deck, you don't really know the storyline. Each of the monsters that they have has their own storyline and different routes that they can evolve in, obviously. Like, let's take, for example, Lady Angemon. Her story and this other storyline is she's the protector of worlds. If she fuses with Lady Devimon, she is the protector of different Vexus and dimensional travel. However, if you follow that is the fusion route. But if you follow the her mega route, she becomes the protector of the world. Then later on, she becomes evil from the corruption of what she's been doing. So they take these creatures of this different kind of myth and travel with them and get them to evolve depending on their personality, situations, and other such. So it's a little bit more complicated, but you don't really get that from the show. You have to like read the cards and play the games and other such. So it did seem like a copycat at the time, I'll agree with, but it's a little bit more complicated if you dig more into it. When Digimon came out, I was in the 4th grade, so all is good for me, or at least for that time. What do we got? Digimon seemed cool. This is from Bobby Joe. I was just really bad at being near the TV when it was on. I understand that too. A little bit of my background. My dad is a mechanic, so if he had to work for some sick and strange reason, he kept bringing me to the body shop, even when I was too young to do anything. And I would be bored to death watching him work and not really do anything. So I can understand parents straying people from the TV. What's awkwardly worse was the 4 to 3 times that they aired Gundam Wing Endless Waltz on Toonami on that Friday. For some reason, magically, my mom would take me to get a haircut, and we just missed that, or I would just miss that airing altogether. The struggles of being a kid, but the advantage of being an adult. I'm on the fence with Miss Pepperpot. How much is that? I'll look that up in a bit. To hear you talk about Digimon feels like Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Elemental Heroes ripped off a Pokemon. Possibly, but both are awesome shows, so hooray, I get more to watch even if it rips off another. So yeah, I'm okay with that. I wish that they would release all of GX, but gotta wait and see. I know if Discotheque gets it, they'll do it. So man, that was so good. They shouldn't have discontinued it and moved on. Brian, or is it Brain? I was really hoping Discotheque would announce that the rest of Lupin Part 2 would be getting dubbed and released on Blu-ray. I have a feeling, I can't speak for Discotheque, but I have a feeling if that was to come, TMS would make a huge big deal about it. Then we would know Discotheque would be working on it. But I I guess for those who didn't get the DVD earlier, they're struggling to get it now, and I hate that. What do we got? Deflexon. I hope so. I hope so too. All right, back to the discs. I already said that. What's next? And that's everything. All right, so stop sharing and please comment below if you want. I wasn't bummed out with this Discoday. Nah, I wasn't bummed out with the Discoday. I was hoping for more mecha. Oh, but it seems like they're making a lot of their former dear. Yes, they did announce this not last Discoday, but the Discoday before that. Even if they're slowly trying to work on their library, if they have the license or not, to move it from DVD to Blu-ray, because they're a Blu-ray company now. So they're trying to transition, but as many titles as you've seen, it's going to take some time to make column A into column B while improving it, hopefully. So yes, that is one of the things that they're trying to do, but they can't say what titles they can or can't get because they don't want to affect the DPA. But that is something that they have announced in a Discoday prior. Just don't be that one person that I don't really like on Twitter, asking them constantly if there's going to be a exchange program. I don't see how they're going to profit. I get the incentive, but I don't see how they're going to profit from it, if you get what I'm saying. Next. They kind of hit it right since during the stream they said that they said that the DVD cases are hard to come by. Agreed. Bobby Joe, at this point, I think GX and 5G's Yu-Gi-Oh! Will be left undubbed unless someone does through the trouble of redubbing the whole thing. Yeah, possibly. Your shelf is empty. Okay. Here's what happened. A few months back, you can, if you look on my channel and look at the same title of Augie's Paws, you'll see me with a window open. I had a short in my room, which only had took half the room's half the room's power, but got rid of my light and fan. So I had to move and get one of the Ameripress bookcases out of the way so I can see where the outlet was, so someone else, not me, can go in, look at the outlets and figure out what it was. And it was what I thought it was, and there was a short running under the house, which I didn't want to run under because it was around Thanksgiving. So I had to empty a few bookcases. I moved one around to see where it was, and it turns out an outlet was on this case, behind this case right here, but none of the other in the back. That corner that you see that's well, not really a corner, but like that gap between right there, straight below it is an outlet. So after many months of pulling my hair out and the frustration of IKEA, I made this shelf, which I'm going to show I'm going to make a video on it later of me putting it together. And what I had to do is buy it not through IKEA, because they don't have one store, one central location, and ship it elsewhere. You have to go to individual divots. And I'm between two. The two I'm between is Memphis and Atlanta. Equal distance, by the way. But because of where I was regioned, I had to rely on Atlanta, even though Memphis had it. And all they were telling me was tough noogies. And if you want what we have, you have to drive over here to get it. Or drive over here, then order it to come to your house. The supply chain was very, very frustrating. So the only thing I did buy from the IKEA store was, as you can see here, this is off color. This is off color, one of their nude color shelves, because to get the 9 shelves, you buy the bookcase, 2 shelves, and the extender. The extender you see right here has like that awkward gap. That's just how the extender is. So I still have stuff in boxes. I technically have 3 bookcases that I need to fill back up with those boxes that I have, which will leave me technically a fifth and a whole bookcase to refill. Yeah. So that's what happened there. Did you downsize? No, it's growing. I do not downsize. What did Bobby Joe say? I started watching Cowboy Bebop. Really good stuff. If you're watching the home release, you're getting more than the people who are watching on TV, because the uncut stuff has stuff that you wouldn't see normally on television, especially Jupiter Jazz. That's awesome. You're finally watching it. Sadly, I had a friend who watched it and hated it, and I asked him to just stop talking to me because points he was making was like, okay, I get it. They're not profiting, but that's not the point. That's not the point of the show of them not profiting. And he kept getting angry, and he kept getting angry because they didn't profit. It's like, it's about the pulp adventure. He couldn't grasp it. What did Bobby Show say? I can understand someone being a Bebop fan and not an anime fan. Fair. The anime Cowboy Bebop. I assumed you meant that one. Augie, have you ever wanted to travel to Japan? Yes. If so, what places would you visit? That is a budgeting question. I never revealed this. I have a cousin who works for the JET program. She got her degree in France and is working over in Japan teaching high school students English. So I do have a source to talk to, and I have had other friends that went over there. Back in 2012, you can get a decent trip for a total spending of $3,000 if you're able to book a flight over and not stay at a hotel, but stay at a bread and breakfast is not the word. A homestay. If you can get under a homestay. But there's a lot I probably could. I'll go with it. I'll go with this one. I would look up Electric City, Shinjuku, Akihabara, and go around that circle first. Then later on, look at the other stuff like the Golden Palace, the Naruto Bridge, Hokkaido. I can list so much. I mean, with all these Akira Kurosawa movies up here, I can probably look up what seems very pretty, and go from there. But that is a budget, time, and who do I talk to know of a really good time for the trip? I hope that answers it. What are some of your earliest memories collecting anime? 4th grade. This was around when Electronic Boutique was still a big corporation. Sam Goody was around. This was before they aired Goku killing Frieza. I went into that game store in the River Oaks Mall in Decatur, Alabama, with my mom, and I've always known of anime. My dad was a Marine, did something and enlisted, went over to Japan and ironically hated it. So I knew of what Japan was at an early age. Even when I accidentally watched Saturday Anime, I knew what it was. So my first item that I bought of anime was the VHS of Sonic the Movie, the 2-part OVA series that was made into one movie from ADV Films. My whole mom's side of the family is into some sort of collection, whether it be baseball cards, movies, comics, what have you, Atari games. So that was the domino that started it. The first manga I ever bought technically was the Super Mario Adventures, then later on Ranma because it had boobies. So hopefully that answered your question. Let's see what else we got. Future Boy, what's your prized possession of your collection that you will never give up? The whole thing. Prize of the collection. That is tough. Because I got some really rare ones. I do have your journal right here. But that's not the answer. I probably would not give up Ranma 1/2. I know, and I don't even have the rare Blu-rays. I just have the DVD colored rainbow, if you will, because that was like I had a few Pokemon VHSs. Then I saw a promo of the second movie with that awesome soundtrack, and I've always been wondered what that show was. Then when I finally got the first volume, I just fell in love with Rumiko Takahashi's work. So that was my first Rumiko Takahashi series too. I watched it before Inuyasha came over here. Yeah, that would be the one. It's not the rarest. You can still find all this stuff really cheap, and if I was to rate it, I would give it a 7 out of 10. But yeah, that's the one I wouldn't give up. Bobby Joe, I think my first anime I bought was a VHS of Dragon Ball Z, The Return of Cooler. Well, that's definitely a very exciting movie of Dragon Ball Z, I can tell you. So you got a really good one there. Bobby Joe, I hope they bring Cooler back into canon like Broly. Now, keep in mind, you have Dragon Ball Super, but you also have, I think it's called Dragon Ball Adventure, which Namco is holding a tight fist on. That did reintroduce Freezer, reintroduce his golden form, and a way more powerful robot form. Spoiler, he's too powerful to be in that form, sadly. So there is an exciting arc there if you can find it. But you have to go through streams and other stuff. There's some YouTube channels that just show it or show different streams of it. What do we got here? How do you explain why physically collecting anime for people that don't understand the value of physical media? It's a hobby. I'll give you a second answer, but first and foremost, it's a hobby. I can point to someone that does fishing, hunting, and all that good stuff to point out that what they're doing, unless you're doing a tournament or selling it, a hobby is just what you pour money into just for a simple enjoyment of having a day off. That's the first and foremost. Second off, what some people don't understand with it is money sink fine, but manage your finances responsibly. Please stop sending tweets of I spent my whole paycheck on manga, but look at my collect. Don't do that. Don't do that. That is not responsible. That is not zenful. When you collect something, and when I look at something like Wise Legacy, there's a timestamp for me at that point in time where I was, what I was doing, where I got this. I got this from Replays for like $6 at a time where I was working on my bachelor's and I was like a junior at that time. I can sit there, reminisce, and remember where I was and where I am now, and just enjoy the fact that I've grown quite the collection. I've advanced as a person. I've grown more ways than some, waddle waddle. So it's not just about it is about the different stories and enjoying yourself, but it's also like, where did I come from? Where did I go? Something, something, Cotton Eye Joe. So there is a slight personal passion of progression if you think that way. There's probably some other answers people will say, but those are my two discerning answers. I hope that was a good one. If not, put boo in the comments and I'll know. Future boy. I need to take a drink real quick. My first anime was Grandizer when it first aired live overseas. So this tells me something. Either you were in Hawaii, somewhere in California, or that southwest portion of the United States, some Kansas area, or I might say this again, somewhere in New York, possibly Australia when you first watched this. I could be dead wrong, and I'm fine if I'm wrong, but I know Grandizer was big, but it didn't air everywhere. But it did release a VHS. Yes, that was very distributed. What do we got? LOL, wobble wobble. I can't help what I got. Now, if you're wondering about this, a little bit of static. Let me grab one of this. This has something to do with what's this called again? StreamYard. Let's see here. Looking for a very green title. Looking through my riff tracks here. So if you have a different color, there's like a background. Yeah, here we go. We'll take Octoman. Yeah, there's like a default image somehow of a very, very nice, I think it's a little bit too oak for me, but a very nice house. Oh, yeah, there we go. With a baby grand piano in the back. I don't know why this is here. I think it's kind of funny that the image of Octoman, of all things, is like person's house. I wish I could it's too green. Anyway, so that's why you see some static in the background. It's just, even with the Speed Racer box, like right here, it's just a type of green or some sort of hue that activates that background image. Also, I'm using a gaming desk. Could have sworn I put, yeah, that was my first SMR picture. If you go to my videos and find the picture of the Maine Coon cat, that is the desk that I'm using. I have sliders on it. It's wibble wobbly, but what can you do? Let's see. Bobby Joe. Wait. No. Future boy. I'm from the Middle East. LOL. Oh, well. If given an option, that mangaka would you want to meet? Mine would be Akira Toriyama. Very hard question, but I'll lazily go with the default and say Rumiko Takahashi. I would love to meet her as a couple, the creator of Yu Hakusho and Sailor Moon. There are some others, but those are a few. Wouldn't mind meeting Ken, the creator of Love Hina, just to see what this person's like. But there's a few, but the number one would be Rumiko Takahashi. Deflex One. Grandizer seems pretty popular with anime fans from 70s and 80s. Yeah, I noticed that there's demand for Grandizer and Machine Robo. We already have a good, not all of it, but a good portion of Mazinger, but now we're left with just those two now. Future Boy Grendizer was huge in the Arab world in Eisenberg. Yeah. I can see different shows back then being popular in different parts of the world. Meeting Gona guy would be fun. I have at not AWA, at A Anime Expo 2018. I wasn't able to go to his signings because there were crazy people waiting like 6 a.m., no, 6 p.m., and wait through the entire night just to get stuff signed by him. And it was very limited, but I did attend a panel of his. Apparently, him and Osama Tezuka were good friends and came in the early 80s to California to like a smaller anime convention to see what it's like. And this was his second time coming back to the US, and he was amazed at how big it was compared to then to now. He is one mistake that Crunchyroll did that you do not do to this man is stop him from drawing. If he is drawing and he wants to draw as much as possible, you let the man draw. If not, he will give you such a death glare, which I saw him give to another person, and I was like, ooh, that's bad. But believe it or not, he is one of the most relaxed people. It's like you're eating, and your grandfather's like has like a very grandfather spirit, if you will. Or that was my experience seeing the guy. Bobby Joe is anime and manga in general big in the Middle East. I don't know. That would be a Future Boy question. I would assume so, because if a show like that lingers in popularity with an older crowd and they still want to see it, I can see that, but I'm not sure how the censorship would be. But I don't live there, so I wouldn't know. Hold up. Response. Future Boy. Not manga, but anime was huge back in the 80s in the Arab world, Bobby Joe. How big was Captain Tsubasa over there? If you don't mind me asking, Future Boy. Deflux 1. That makes sense. Okay. Brian or Brain? Does it surprise you how anime is so popular or mainstream nowadays? I remember back in high school watching anime and it was considered a nerdy thing. Thanks to Big Bang Theory, nerdy is the new pop culture. So the help of that show helped a lot. I could see it was strange that for when I went to high school, it was strange that it turned out that way because elementary, it was popular. It was awesome. That even though who is the newest Digidestin was obviously silhouetted to be Ty's sister, Kyrie, there were children, my classmates, who did not want that spoiled. I said, it's obviously her. And I made Suzanne cry. I forgot her last name, but that doesn't matter. In junior high, that was big. That was Toonami. That was like the big boom. Boom. So you had that happen. Then in high school, I swapped high schools. The previous high school had a clique that enjoyed anime. The other one was like, they really love country music. I don't get it. But there was a few that remembered shows and liked it, but they wanted to let it go because they were older, even though after high school they realized you can play with toys and be fine. I kind of hope that it would be funny if it would be. It's bad to promote this, but it would be funny if there's cliques of students out there that enjoy an anime show. The one jock person who doesn't like the show says he doesn't like it and gets shunned, but that's technically not a good thing to promote. But it would be that would be a huge contrast from someone in the 80s enjoying this kind of stuff. I would presume. Interesting. Yes. Captain Tsubasa was one of the very popular anime back in the 80s. Oh, wow. Big Bang Theory lost me after season 1. Was it the Bazinga bit, or was it no one would ever befriend the Sheldon character? I've always wanted to know that with some people. Hating on the country music, lol. Well, if something's overexposed and you're like, whatever, and also if you're stuck in a body shop always listening to it, it kind of drains at you after a while. Now, my curiosity is what I said earlier. How much is Miss Pepperpot? We ordered it. I forgot. Pulling that up right now. If you haven't, I'll plug this in now. Please like, subscribe, ring the bell, join my social medias. If I have affiliate links, check them out. If it's not a good price, you don't have to buy it, but be aware that it's being sold. Oh, let's see here. Blu-ray, Discotheque. I've been meaning to ask Shelty, the owner of Discotheque, why he named it Eastern Star for the other portion of his business. Because we have this where I live over here. I haven't joined them. I don't intend to join or whatnot, but there is a religion called the Eastern Star. So I'm just kind of wondering why he chose that. Maybe it was the direction or what, but it just seemed different. Let's see. What do we got here? Oh, hold up. Let's see. Bobby Joe, I remember hearing where kids are actively made fun for not playing it's the same as not playing Halo for back then. It's kids and peer pressure. It's what they do. Soccer was the main sport we participated in the Middle East. That's why Captain Tsubasa was huge. You guys probably don't know, but nothing can beat the Arabs dudes. They're so good. Well, you know what? I don't know the land per se, but if it's anything like I see on the news, if you are kicking a soccer ball and doing all the tricks on sand, then you better be really good. Other people are lucky to play it on clay or grass, but if you're kicking that ball in sand and doing the control, I bet you are. Is Miss Pepperpot's a good watch? I don't know. I'm curious too. Never got the Bazinga bit. Okay. What anime had an emotional pack from you? For me, it would have been Clannad After Story, Violet Evergarden, and Cowboy Bebop. My answer to this is going to be a little bit strange, but the first time I felt emotionally impacted was with Tenchi Universe with the Ryoko character. It kind of to me while watching it in English dub, it kind of made me question did Ryoko die or not. But how it was presented, it felt like she did die and that he missed someone really good in his life. So that got me emotionally there. Other times it's silly. I hate to admit this, but the ending of Azumanga I stopped at episode 25 because of the whole Raspberry Heaven song. For some strange reason, I kept thinking that if I watched them graduate and the show being over, that they would be in an airplane and die from the crash, hence the whole Raspberry Heaven ending theme. So it took me a while. I finally gained I hate to say this, but I finally gained the courage to watch an episode of anime. Finally watched the end and felt satisfied. Hate that the adventure's end, but every story has a middle, beginning, or end. That's why all stories are all the same. Another one. Another one I felt a warm heartedness for. Well, there's two. both of them are slice of life. That would be Nichijou and Dragon Maid. And those two gave me the warm fuzzies. There's some other shows too, but those are the ones that got me emotionally impacted. If it's some Cowboy Bebop was another one that got me emotionally, but it was like I'm ready for action. I like this pulpy kind of story, but I didn't cry or anything. Haven't finished Clannad. I obviously have Violent Evergarden, but I haven't watched it yet. Anohana, I did enjoy. It was like an inch close to being some sort of Stephen King story, but when it got to that point, it like went away. But the whole time I'm watching it with this anime club, me and another guy were like looking around. It's like, why are you crying? This is forceful writing. We didn't cry, but I hate what the friends had to go through. Yeah, well, at funerals, I'm more proud than tearful. So if that explains my personality. All right. I saw the very first one. I guess that's back to Big Bang Theory. Is Selby Middle Eastern? No, he when I say this, it's how he looks, it's not how he acts. But he looks very close to Sheldon from Big Bang Theory. That, like I said, it's close but not exact. The guy is very chill. If you ever seen a interview with Robert Woodhead, he's sort of like that, but more Florida, if that makes sense. He's just a down, straightforward guy. If you go to bigger anime conventions and go to the Discotheque booth, you will see him. If you go to the Discotheque booth and it's not a big convention, he'll have some other people go down for him. Bobby Joe, some parts of My Hero Academia. I didn't cry, but he on a deep level. I can see that, the kind of the sporty, inspirational type of ordeals, or your superhero stuff. I can see that. Yeah, the dubs for anime. If you're asking for preference, I'm a hybridist. I want the choice. Used to, when they dubbed anime and translated it, you get two stories for the price of one, because they would be slightly different enough that you get a different experience. I know modern day we're trying to get everything on the same level, but I like the two for one, if you will. Darling in the Franks also hit me different. That I feel so bad for the fat guy in the show. Kind of made me angry that he was okay with what was happening, but at the same time, that's one of your sci-fi gender sex experimental sort of ordeal. So I kind of see how that would work out, but I really enjoyed the show. My emotional impact was Made in the Abyss, Violent Evergarden. Those two anime made me cry from the bottom of my heart. With Made in the Abyss, I can see that. I really enjoy the adventure for that one. But I guess I did not cry for, it's been a while, so I don't remember the names, for Bunny Girl's best friend. I couldn't cry for that because that was more the whole, would you let it was one of those sacrificial episodes of, do you let the person live or continue suffering? So I can see how people can cry on that one. Difflunix. Violet Evergarden is good. I know it's about an ex-soldier turned postal worker, but how does it compare to Shimofumi, the after-death person who delivers letters? Well, Midoriya was told he could be a hero. Okay, I get you. Bobby Joe, what anime would you say has the best dub? Huh. That one. Best dub. Per a few companies, for 4 kids, it would have, for dubbing, it would have had to have been Shaman King. For Funimation, I would go for Peach Girl. For Geneon, it would have to be Lupin, because, you see the impact still today. ADV, I will be lazy and say Evangelion, even though I know there's better dubs that they've done, but I'll stick to that. For Bandai Entertainment, I'm kind of stuck between the Big O, and I know I'm going to get some flack for this, but I thought Gundam Wing was a very perfect dub. But those are my answers. Hopefully not the best, but it gives you like a sample of how I see things. What do we got here? Brian, is there a genre of anime that you refuse to watch nowadays? For me, it would have to be heavy fan service anime. I'm down with the service. It depends on the crowd that I'm with, because there's 2 anime I will maybe watch sooner or later, but because of the local fan base and toxicity, these two I'm not going to watch are Sayonara Zetsubo Sensei. I understand it. It's Mr. Suicidal. It's Zetsubo Sensei saving the day the suicidal way. I get the point. But how people around me were like in my face about it, I didn't like that. The other one would be Steins Gate for the same reason, and even worse. I went to a local convention that I helped run. It was called Hamacon, and I eventually became the video room director. They had a Steins Gate panel. Okay, one of my friends were there. He wore a lab coat, and I tried talking to everyone, and no one would talk. It was very awkward. It was like a bunch of nerds coming together to try to socialize, but they didn't know how to socialize, and they didn't like getting attention, even though they draw attention to themselves wearing lab coats. That very. I'm more open to stuff to watch because there might be something that I don't know that I'm missing. But the one I don't like, that I don't really travel or venture to, would be Boys Love. Other than that, I'm kind of open to almost anything. All right, let's see what's next. Never seen Shimafume. Okay. It's released by Sentai Filmworks, and they may or may not still have their sell up, their lucky sell. So it might be really cheap to get, or they're not selling it. Yu Hakusho. Yeah, you can't beat that. That's what put Justin Cook as a high executive, just because there were some attempts before to bring Yu Hakusho over here and failed. There's like 2 failed dubbed movies, if I recall. I know one was Central Park Media, and I believe the other one was an earlier attempt from Media Blasters. Then Justin Cook got with Media Blasters to dub Yu Hakusho for our first few seasons. Then Funimation picked it up with Justin Cook, and history is told. Best, you know it. The 092. Every episode of Violet Evergarden is a different story. Oh, so this would be would you call this an anthology? I forgot what the other term was. Ryan, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood and Death Note have such a good dub. Agreed. Future Boy, my opinion, Robotech has the best dub. Okay. However, the only problem with Robotech is that goddamn Lynn Kyle. Ugh. If he didn't like it there, he should move off the island. Bobby Joe, I don't mind fan service, even a ton of it, as long as the girls are old enough to where it's okay. Okay. Agreed. You collect any DC animated movies? A few Batman. I'm slowly working on what I would consider a Batman collection, but not every single title. There's this one that ruined Toyman, and I just didn't like it. But there's a few Batman. The animated series I grew up with. Eventually, I'll get Brave and the Bold. A few of the movies from the animated. Need to get the. I need to get the Harley Quinn one, and the two others. I got the Gotham Knights, but I need to get Ninja Batman eventually. But yeah, a few. Little Super Dimension Fortress Macross, whatever release to the States on Blu-ray. Time will tell. I don't know, but I think it's selling enough, or they're releasing enough units to lower the price very cheaply in some other places. Have you heard any other hobbies outside of anime? Are you into gaming at all? I do play video games, but I'm so lost with how the evolution of video games are, because for some reason tank controls are what people use for shooters. I can't get into tank controls. I thought when I touched that on Resident Evil, it's garbage, and I just don't like shooters. Even though Resident Evil 4 was very different, it was fun, it was good. Just wasn't expecting that. But I do not play shooters. I don't have time. I'm about to get. I was finally accepted into a college program, uh, Masters of Science in Electrical Engineering, Robotics, and Artificial Intelligence, all that good stuff. So I'm about to enter that. So any MMO, I can't really get involved with. I can see myself getting into Minecraft. I really like I like Animal Crossing, platformers, RPGs, fighters, that kind of stuff, puzzle games. Um, but yeah, you're not going to find me playing Fortnite or any shooter if that's what you're trying to figure out, and lobby and stuff. I would love to play games with people. I just don't. All my games are more not online. It's more sit in front of the TV, hold the game screen, play it right there. I played most of the Zelda games, but I don't want to play the open world stuff. That's not, to me, that's not Zelda. But that's some other story for another time. I hope that answered your question. Bobby Joe, you see where there's going to be more Spice and Wolf? I did. Ooh, I hope we get the same cast and stuff for it, but who knows with what's going on. It seems like with what I'll do another stream tomorrow on this, but it seems like when the pirating now corporate Crunchyroll absorbed or ate Funimation, it seems like they're going to continue their practices for the moment on how they're going to price and release stuff. So hopefully we'll get the same team together for that show, and it'll deliver all the whimsy and wonder for those who have seen it and said, currently I'm watching Project Arms. After Project Arms, I'm going to finally watch Spice and Wolf. Too many people's talked about it. Too many people praise, glorify it, cosplay. Just as big as Lucky Star. I need to watch it. Thank you, Bobby Joe. I will watch that series now. Bobby Joe, do you play Yu-Gi-Oh? Thoughts on Duel Links and Master Duels if you do? I like the show Yu-Gi-Oh! I remember the original stuff when I played it. I got out of it when it was GX, so I'm probably not the most current up-to-date on this stuff. I hope for Master Duels, if I recall, that might be, if I'm wrong, I apologize. That might be the next online element to play Yu-Gi-Oh! And hopefully there's not going to be any hacks or stuff to get your information. I hope for the best for it. But the synchro summons, the XYZ stuff. Well, technically I was part of the earlier XYZ, but Anyway, all those other strategies I'm not familiar with. Future Boy, have you heard of Delta Space Mission? Animated movie. Very interesting Eastern European animation. Thank you. I was wondering if that was an anime or not. That sounds up my alley because I do love the Beatles' Yellow Submarine. I don't mind the, how do you say this? Trippy, euphoric animation. I don't mind that. So it seems up my alley, but I might get it, thanks to you, I might get it later rather than earlier, but I might get it sometime this year. But I've been curious about if it's good or not too. What do you do for a living? I can't say that. Just know, well, actually, you should sort of know. I just told you what my master's was in. I'm an electrical engineer. There you go. In my opinion, Fire Emblem is the best game series. I did play that for the DS, and I'm glad there's the one option that was available that some pure hardcore Fire Emblem fans would disagree with, but as long as my character dies and I can still keep the character, I will play it because I can sit down and just grind characters to max out the level. Games like Disgaea or Evolution for Dreamcast, I can sit down and just grind all day and just be enjoyed, just like with fishing. But I'm glad we're getting more Fire Emblem series over here, and I don't think we can see this, but I did get the first one special edition in that cereal type box. But awesome, man. Do you know any programming languages? Let's keep. I might answer this in another. Ask again in another stream, and I'll let you know. Just not right now. It's way late at night, and I don't want to think of work right now. I still got to get up and go to it. Well, from home. Bobby Joe, have you heard anything about the Fruits Basket final season Blu-ray? I'm with you. I don't know until they release the information. I just now realize you probably see like right there, all that's Italia. I just learned tonight that the last bit of Hitalia is finally going to be released this June, and here I was about to make a complete collection video on Hitalia while misreading the world twinkle for the whatever the subtitle of the next one. I think it's the World Series, but I think I might be lying. So hopefully we'll hear something soon. Try checking Blu-ray. I guess .com is the name where you can kind of look at the different information to see what might be coming out early from a licensor. That's the only tip I can say. Unless you know someone that works with Funimation, Crunchyroll, Aniplex. Well. Nah, sorry, I can't be too much of help. What do we got? The 092. Violet Evergarden is more like a book series, telling small, important stories with a special meaning behind it. So, I want to say Kino's Journey, but I think Kino's Journey is an anthology to me. Meaning behind each one, thanks to you, I'll give it a watch. Do you work at a refinery? No. I'm in the tail end of the Appalachians. That's over in the Rockies where you'd see that. Or are you talking about alcohol? I don't drink alcohol nor work at one of those. Have you seen the Fruits Basket remake? It is my favorite series. I have seen the remake with the Anime Club. I have read the manga up to a certain point, so it was like, I haven't seen the original show. I do have it, just haven't seen the original. So I was like waiting for the stuff afterwards. Once again, this is a shoujo that if you You have to be awake. You have to be awake because of how it wants to make its delivery. It's not boring, but it's not one to watch at 10 o'clock at night. And it's a shojo that I can't just watch one episode a week. I have to sit down and binge to get a better grasp of the situation, because there's some finite details. If you watch a week at a time, I will lose unless I rewatch the episode. So I've seen season 2 of that. I believe I've seen season 2, but not the final one yet. How did you get into electrical engineering? Is it a career path you always wanted to do? Yeah, well, I've worked on cars and I am tired of mechanics. However, my grandfather on my mom's side is a TV repairman. So I learned to work on TVs, VCRs, know how to clean them, use the ohm meter and stuff. So I've always wanted to be an engineer, because if I went to church like I was forced to, I've always noticed who did what career and what life they were living compared to others. And I kept seeing these engineers, doctors, and lawyers always making good money. So originally I was going to go to college to be a nurse, then swap over to be a doctor. However, with stuff happening with my life, and I ended up instead, because I was a lifeguard before I graduated high school, and then I saw how people just did not care or respect someone injured. I just got disgusted with it, so I swapped over to become an engineer because they made money. I did industrial maintenance, which was a quick glide over from car repair to that, then realized you make more money with less labor if you're electrician. So I moved to the electrical side, even though originally my dad worked at a steel mill through high school, and it made some really good money. So I was going to become a materials engineer or a metallurgist to try to make even more money. So finally worked at the steel mill. Things just didn't work out. And I ended up getting a co-op with TVA, that's Tennessee Valley Authority. It's kind of like, well, you've heard TVA in the news if you kept up with it for the past about 3 years ago. But anyway, I got an electrical engineer position through that company, a power company. I was like, okay, I swap over here to electrical engineering, and just went through it and got to where I am today. And I have no regrets. I hate the struggle, but more of the struggle was with family background than me, but that's a whole nother story. Also had to endure a house fire while going through college in my room of all places. So, yeah, enough of that. But I always wanted to do. I do not regret going this route. I'm not going to lie. Sorry if that wasn't a straightforward question again. Diflonex 1. Are you collecting the G Reco movies? I am not importing. I am not going to import that. There's some shows I might import. I don't consider myself to be an importer, but for that one, I'm waiting for a localized release. Then I'll get it. How it was working is when they sold out of the Bandai Visual releases, then the Sunrise release from Right Stuff would release that. So I'm not sure what's going on with the G Reco movies not being released locally yet, or I might be wrong and they are released locally and I just haven't had a chance to pick it up. Violet Evergarden has a movie that played in the theaters last year. They served several as an ending to the series, while also having a side story movie that came out in 2019-ish. What movie do I have? I got you see, I got the limited edition there, and I got the movie, but now I'm not sure if I got both movies. Please let me know. I'm more interested in the series now. Thank you for presenting it this way. Everyone else that's talked about this series is like, oh, it's good. Tell me more. You just have to watch it. If it's that good, you should be able to tell me more. I have a problem expanding myself, which is another reason why I'm kind of doing a YouTube. I want to work on me communicating and expanding. Hopefully, I'm doing a decent job or an entertaining job. Thank you for the 5 viewers who's still on here chatting with me. Thank you very much. But yeah, you're getting me more interested in this series now. Bobby Joe, I will have mercy of you. I will have mercy of you. Sleep schedule and say goodnight. Hope next stream is soon tomorrow. I am also very happy to see Nier Automata getting an anime adaptation, which makes me sad. I spent over at least $1,000 just in music alone. Sadly, the music is sadly beautiful. Ooh, uh, if it's that popular and going by what you're saying, I'm kind of hoping they'll do a concert series like they do with Final Fantasy, because I could have sworn it's still Square Enix. If that's the case, that'd be kind of cool to go to. You got Violet Evergarden Collection Edition. How much do you want for it? Also, you got the side movie. Okay, I got the side movie, but not the conclusion. Oh no, it's gone. If you watch my latest collection video, there was a series called Heaven's Lost Property, where they released the TV with OVA, Season 1, Season 2, the continuation movie, but I had to wait. I said nearly 10 years, but about 8 years for the finale movie to come out. So I hope this does not suffer the same fate, especially if they aired it in theaters. That would be, who knows. I hope it comes out soon. I'll pre-order it when it's announced. The Flonex One. I feel like Nier Automata does better as a video game medium. Doing an anime might still be good, but that story was amazing when experiencing it as a video game. During the pandemic, I've been watching some. At first, it would be like watch a series, then a video game adaptation. So far, if it's a video adaptation of an RPG, they do a pretty decent job with them. So I'm excited for this animation, but I really hope Animeplex USA does not touch the release. I really hope not. It's bad enough for the Persona people as it is. Would you ever considering starting a Discord? I will start a Discord. I would still have to plan, see where I am in life, see if I can maintain it to be worth it. But if I can get over, and I'm not trying to be Mr. Impossible, I'll say this number to never do it. No. If I can get like 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, I'll probably do a Discord and experiment what I can do with it. But for right now, I don't think I have the time to really do one proper. If I get the 1,000 views, I would sit there, strategize, and figure out what to do, how to do, and go from there. If I was to do one and they don't care if you show stuff, I'd probably do like a movie someday or something like that. Like movie Tuesdays or whatnot. You vote and we'll see what's in my collection and we watch it. I wouldn't mind that. I've seen how other people use it. Kind of confused with some of them, but it would be sort of basic. I might be similar to Giga Frosty maybe with one, but we'll see. I'm kind of like, even though I'm an electrical engineer, I'm kind of grandfather into what all this web space stuff is like. So I say that because I want to make sure you, the viewer, are entertained. The 0092. The Nier music is known to have concerts every 2 years, which is also on a Blu-ray. Now, my question for you is, what sound system are you playing this on? Because if you're playing it on a default TV, you're not. To me, for a concert, I also played in band. You're supposed to supposed to feel the vibrations of the music and technique of what they've been through. If you're not feeling the harmonic vibration through your bones, at least a little bit, or at your skin, you feel like the vibe of the music, then you're not really enjoying it unless you're doing like headset. But yeah, what kind of sound system are you planning to enjoy? I hope there is one, or at least some good headset or earbuds. Also, near Tom, a TV show is being overlooked by the great Yoko Taro, who is crazy and a mad genius. Is he like the Gundam creator after the 92 when he can't get his shrooms, if you will? 7.2 surrounded, awesome. Which I watched my movies and TV shows through. Cool. Oh man. Oh, one day after the Masters, I might finally, and maybe sometime after, finally get a house and get my own theater room set up. But I just plot and plan and go day by day until that happens. Very awesome that you have the 7.2. Difflunix 1. Well, Yoko Taro created Nier, so I hope he is involved. Fair point. All right. Let me go ahead and share this, even if the person's not there. Share screen. All right. Okay, Miss Pepperpot's complete. For that many episodes, even though they're shorts, for that price, I think it's like 7.5 minutes per episode. So let's see. 12 is that. 13 would be. What was that? 13 would be. So that would be around maybe 850-ish minutes. I'm probably way off and wrong. Let's see here. Sorry, 1,300 minutes for that price. That's not a bad price point. I know this is supposed to be a very basic show. So if you compare this to like Niles Hoggerson, or where is that? Where's the other one? Anyway, if you compare this price to like Grim Fairy Tale Adventures, I would say this would be the better price point. But this is supposed to be like a very simple children's show. I think it's, aside from her going through her shrinking and going back to normal size, it's like a reverse Anna Green Gables. That's what I'm getting from it, but I haven't seen it yet. You can probably, if you don't want to buy it new, which I know, well, let's face it, if you don't want to buy it new, you can probably buy it cheaper, or it might stream somewhere so you can sample to see if it's worth your time to get it or not. I don't see it as a bad price for what you get, but this might not be the genre that you would like. It's slice of life. I'm thinking like David the Gnome, the Littles-esque storylines with this one. So, oh well. Oh. All right. The 092. You can get the Nier concert Blu-rays dating back to 2015-ish. I have 3 concerts so far. They have come out with a new one last year. Awesome, man. At least that sounds a lot simpler than following something like Love Live. All right. So with that, guys, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, ring that bell. Join my Twitter and Facebook detail or social medias to know me well. If you wouldn't mind, maybe checking the affiliate links if I have them. If not, do what you can to find what entertains you. I will do a stream tomorrow. And with that, have a good night and be safe tomorrow. Later, guys.